my life. Hello. Hey, almost on time. Sorry, I was stress planting garlic, cilantro, and strawberry. No regret. All today. I am scrolling over to my Facebook artist page. Please like me. And the main thing, I'm gonna be watching for y'all if y'all want to help guide this new song that we're gonna be watching for. And I'll just have to repeat this frequently so that you know the full disclaimer. There are thunderstorms. Beautiful part of mountainous Colorado, and enough stuff to be worthwhile. It could adversely action. So please let me know. Did I mention that this little farmhouse is at 7,000 feet? It's kind of crazy gardening because you just asked. It's just that much closer to the sun, and it's not exactly the wettest climate, Colorado. So if you caught the summary to last week's kind of bit off more than I could chew. I wrote something intensely and emotional, public place, and combined with other stuff in my life, a move. And I realized I'm gonna take a couple minutes because I am gonna cheat just a little, just. So I have a couple minutes to explain myself of why I started doing this program. Songwriter, I was finding it really, really taxing to, as I would start to joke about it, bleed on command, be intensely authentic and real and vulnerable. It had ramifications that I didn't see coming, even since I was a little girl. There's a weird set of circumstances that have led me to A, be doing this, B, the sessions that I know working through this very weird time. I'm intensely grateful. And created, as you know, among a bunch of others where I was testing out how do I interact with the world, create something out of this practice that's enjoyable and spiritually enriching to me. One that stuck. I think I'll probably, I can tell we're having, I hope this is too rough. If not, hey, I'll try again tomorrow. It's like, again, if this is just horrible because of thunderstorm interruption, Facebook, I'm paying attention to right now. I'm on the video, so you can comment and I will see you. Eyes! Anyhow, being intensely vulnerable and personal on command in front of the camera. Right. So I'll keep that. Spiritual Songs is coming back. This week, Spiritual Songs got wiped out because I was wiped out and didn't have a genuine place to sing from. But those two have seemed thick in terms of things that, you know, I've entertained a handful of people much. It's just a really great exercise for me. Not take it too seriously, even though there's a paradox with artists. We don't need them, right? Most societies do not value artists, but then we'd all have to go burn our record collections. Whew, that was a big thing of lightning. I'm glad that nothing is plugged in. Okay, so I said that I was going to cheat today, and that's why I could take the time to explain myself and explain what I'm doing here. And I would also like to make it probably more useful and educational to other songwriters, if I can. I tend to end up feeling a little bit like a freak among freaks with hyper talented musicians, just because to me songs happen. They not only have to happen because that's my livelihood, but I went through with that livelihood because I have to stop myself from writing songs. So if I can make this mechanism any easier to anybody else, that would be cool. So when I'm working as a gun for hire, sometimes, you know, more often than not, people will ask me for lyrics. Here's a finished piece of music. All you have to do is put lyrics on top of it. That is probably my most popular job, but then I'll also get writing demo vocal melodies, or just ghost write me an entire song, like top to bottom. It's crazy what people ask of you sometimes. But I'm going to play with the flip. You've been seeing me play to my strength for the last 4 weeks, which is have music to write lyrics onto. That makes it a lot easier for me. Because you might have noticed if you've been watching this, or the fact is simply that it's weird that lyrics, you know, could be considered my strong point because they're very difficult for me. I have very high standards for myself when it comes to writing lyrics. If I don't tell something so true that it makes me do this, you've seen them, the good lyric phase. It's not good lyrics to me, right? So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, and I did a little bit of the hard part first, but just a little bit. Cheating just a little bit. This much cheating, right? I cannot keep track of notebooks. That's why it's a good thing these are cheap. So I have this 1 page of lyrics here in my super squirrely handwriting. What it would look like if a spider could write. Accident? I think not. Okay. And it's something that I had in my head earlier this week as I was coaxing myself into going forward and not getting stuck and not stopping. And that was me thinking about all the stuff in my life, apart from missing my best friend, just my whole family, my past. It's like everybody has that, right? Relative trauma. Nobody's... Hold on, I hear screaming. Hold on. Nobody said the show was that boring. Okay, I think it's normal farm operations. I needed to make sure nobody was stuck under a tractor. I don't know what I'd do, but I had to make sure. It's possible around here. How do we deal with our own relative traumas? Hans, friends in the entire world, sent me an email this week as if he psychically knew, and I'm pretty sure he did, psychic bastard, that I was having a hard time to let me know where some of my lyrics had affected his life, and in really deep personal ways where, you know, maybe completely different situation from where I'd written the song, but that spoke to him. I'm do that. So in the name of this, the glowing. Anyhow, so I'm going to read these lyrics for you here. Sometimes you gotta cry gently. That's what different hour for what is the difference. But what I heard was, sometimes you gotta cry. I know there is a Peanuts gallery that's known to sometimes appear on this show. I don't know. Again, let me know if the connection is too bad to be doing this today. We'll try again tomorrow. But cliche, whatever. It spoke the truth to me and was a good summary of what I was feeling at that moment. Thunder, it's exciting. Okay, sometimes you gotta die temporarily. That's a wink and a nod to some friends of mine, right? Because it's, you know, perfectly true, but it happened to fit my lyric. Just the wind blows strong, the road is long, and there's never going back or slowing down. You want to give up, but you gotta stay tough, trying to keep from cracking up or breaking down. So sometimes you gotta cry gently. So we can take a moment to, like, I'm not going to try to teach too much. I have too much to do. I have to write a song by the time this hour's over, whether or not anybody's watching it. So honestly, once I had that first line, sometimes you gotta cry, cry gently, then it's like, okay, so I know things coming too. I gotta write another thing that fits that. But then I started hearing this, the wind blows strong and the road is long and there's never going back or slowing down. You wanna give up, but you gotta stay tough, trying to keep from breaking up or breaking down. So sometimes you gotta cry, cry gently. And that's where I'm cheating, because it took me a solid just 30 minutes staring into space, because I got that sort of idea of melody and and there's a lot of syllables in there. So I took a solid 30 minutes, and I was kind of honestly disappointed with some of the cliches that developed. But descriptive poetry, right? Somewhere in that gray zone where poetry and lyrics meet. The wind blows strong, the road is long, and there's never going back or slowing down. I like things that sound really matter of fact. So the main thing I'd like to show today, if there's any value to anybody watching this who also writes song, it's conversational lyrics. That's the main thing that I think this song has going for it. A lot of my favorite songs and a lot of the favorite songs that I've written have this way as if they were just talking to you. I think, in case I don't pull it off today, go check out So Reached off of My None Such Palace, now on YouTube. Because when that got picked up by Chris Kredge on 105.5, I kind of knew exactly why. Because it was kind of just a letter to somebody, and it was dirt honest. So, and more so as part of the Colorado Sound playlist, it had a lot of Coloradoisms in it. I can't help it what your mama thinks, right? That's not, and I pense upon thy mother, surely I pense upon her. No, I can't help thinking about your mama. So it took a fairly long time to figure out how I could put things plainly and honestly with a flow. And so if you have a case of the songs, this is a good episode for you, because, you know, I just had that chorus stuck in my head. It's almost certainly going to be the chorus because it's what's stuck in my head, and now everything else can only substantiate that. Hold on, let me check that there is no peanuts gallery going on today, and I'm not just rolling over the obvious. Nope. We are on our own today, internet. It's just you and me in a very strange therapy session. Okay, cool. Not just as well. I can chill out, smoke my spliff, just be a human. I'm working on it. It doesn't come naturally. What can I say? I'm funny. There's this point where I hit like a no hope point in shows, and suddenly it's like delightful. It's any rule, anybody's rule, right? I wonder why I haven't done anything significant yet. Anyhow, YouTube therapy session. Okay, and Periscope. Hi, Periscope. And I know nobody's watching on. Well, somebody like this on Facebook. Whoever you are, thank you. So if you have a case of songs, I'm not ADD. You're ADD. I might be. I don't know. And no offense if you are. You're just, you know, able to focus on more things than the rest of us, right? I don't know. That was probably crude. Not trying to be offensive. Don't send me angry letters, or do. It's been kind of quiet on the pages lately. So, if you have a case of songs, and if something's just stuck in your head, this has all been a magnificent distraction for tuning. This is how I would recommend fishing it out. Now, I'm kind of doing the thing, right, where lyrics are hard, so I'm running back to a guitar, right? But one of my favorite quotes is how humans fall from side to side, and that's how we walk forward. So we're gonna keep walking back and forth from side to side, except this time, instead of starting with the music, like all the world, lyric. Yeah. And make it way too. Let's intention this thing. Let's decide our own experience. I don't know what I'm doing out here, but I get progressively goofier as the hour goes on. And what I'd like to intention this song for, go ahead and do that too. If you have a case of the songs, well, it's always fun to just let a song develop and be what it is. But especially if you're not having the easiest time with your mental health, it helps to like intention of, nah, this song is going to contain some kernel of wisdom out of nowhere, the universe come through me. It's going to make me feel better, and it's going to contain some of that. It's amazing how anything in music starts out as a joy, and once you get into it professionally, it can become this incredible burden. But no, that's a joy, right? And it's like whether or not a song ever sees the light of day, I always try to like, you know, get my songs out there, because I figure even if I don't like it, and there are a fair number of my songs which I could pretty hard pass on from day to day, it's for somebody, right? And that's how I recommend anybody look at their writing. It's for somebody. Don't rule yourself out. Maybe you didn't even write it for you. So this is going to be a definitely more chillaxed 1 hour, one song, because I'm just going for more of a slice of life of me at work, which was all I was really trying to do, is say, hey, I love my job. I think it's cool. I'm going to put myself in a terrarium for you for an hour a week. Actually, an hour and a half if you count spiritual songs, but a little, anyhow. Yeah, that's close enough for television. I get the very strong impression I tend to be good at this. I just want to know if I'm going to surprise myself. I think this is in G. Let's go ahead and find out. Sometimes you gotta cry. No, I'm wrong. Ha! Yes, not that cliche today. Okay, I'm gonna go back and forth because I don't have time to like just sit here and waddle between chords. Well, I think it's an A. That's what I'm deducing from that. Sometimes you gotta cry. Cry, yeah. Ooh, we could. Ooh, that was a total accident. All right, so trying to include room for you to see my fingers here. Let's go with sometimes you gotta cry. Cry gently. I wasn't expecting that. We'll take it. Make room for happy accidents in songwriting, always. So that's A with a GD turnaround. We just got very eagle. It's gonna a little bit going on. Okay, so sometimes, but let me sort through my instincts here. Sometimes you gotta cry. Sometimes you got gently. Going to try to give this entertainment education value, just squeeze it on in. It's that thing I was talking about conversational lyrics. Then this is getting into the specific regional thing, the thing about Coloradoisms. Every dialect has a sweetness to it when that's your mother tongue, or you can even learn it, right? But you know, it's a little more dicey because you don't have those memories of someone maybe whispering as many sweetnesses to you. What that lilt is like when the speech pattern, when someone who really cares about you is giving you tough advice, there's a speech pattern to that. When you're telling somebody that you love them and they don't know it yet and you're not sure how it's going to be taken, there's a speech pattern. Well, you can play with that. You can, you know, say things in a way that are at odds. The rules are, you know, meant to be broken. But this is what I'd like to explore a little bit. The window's strong, the road is long, there's never soul enough for strong and down. Someone is venting. Strong in the Nope. Wind blows strong and the road is long, and there's never slowing up or going down. Never slow. There's never turning back or slowing down. What's the lyric? I wrote this not long ago. Okay. You wanna stay tough, you wanna stay tough, you wanna give up, but you gotta stay tough, and you trying to keep from cracking up or breaking down. Sometimes you gotta cry gently. I think we'll do that. I think I get the feeling that the thing is gonna come back heavily in our verse, but for right now, that was just, I don't think it's an accident that 1-4-5 patterns tend to really, follow speech patterns quite closely. Not like Chinese, but they all are all tonal. You can kind of speak in tones, like yeah, yeah, and people will get what you mean. So I don't think there's an accident. I think that human speech somehow breaks up a lot along the 4 and the 5, right? I'd love to see a study on that. If anybody has, let me know. Kick it to me. Okay, so that's just a D times 2 to GD turnarounds to start with that, just to confuse anybody trying to follow this. And then at the end, it's just going to resolve dominant. A, E, E, alphabet soup. A, E, A. Okay, cool. So altogether, that is. I wonder where it's going to kick off from. Sometimes you gotta cry. Take the 4. Cry gently. Sometimes you gotta die. Wind blows strong and the road is long, and there's never slowing up or turning down. You wanna stay slow, you wanna give up, but you gotta stay tough, trying to keep from cracking up or breaking down. Sometimes you gotta, the tempo's rough. Sometimes you gotta cry gently. I think it's too jarring, right? If I'm trying to make anybody feel better, I'm not going to keep it totally yacht rocky quite yet. So, but I say that. Now we're going to just get completely self-indulgent with that. What is it? Oh, that's why it's funny. It's a 1 dominant 7. Basically switching to the key of D for a second, but we're not. Wow, mind games. Oh. Pay attention to your accidents when you're songwriting. It's not. I bet neuroscience has a way of backing up, the spiritual talk around it. But when you're putting yourself in this space, you're making yourself open to whatever the 100th monkey is on, right? You're making yourself more open to the universal divine, if you want to put it that way. That's part of why I need to stop myself from writing songs, why you are a conduit in that moment. The more you can let yourself be that, the more the songs happen and they just drag you along by the nose. Mixed feelings, mostly good. So, pay attention to your accidents. Nope. I like that. That little double tap reminds me, it's like a heartbeat, but it's a little elevated. But it's not like you're worried or upset, but it's like, maybe you've been working hard in the garden and you kind of got a good pace of life going on, right? Ooh, okay. I get the very strong impression that the lyrics are going to draw heavily upon my recent stress gardening. Okay. Yay! Did I turn off the water? I didn't turn off the water. It's okay. I made pretty good trenching. My beds won't completely flood while I'm on here. Okay, cool. Okay. I don't think anybody's watching, so I could pause, run out, but no, I'm not gonna do that. My beats are gonna be okay. My beats are gonna be just fine. Dang it. So I kind of like that heartbeat. because this is a song, I would like this to contain magic. I kind of like to almost act like talismans. Now that I bring this into the world, this is going to be easier. This is going to be a go-to song to make me feel X. So I would like this song to make me feel engaged with the world and brave about just doing things, right? Not getting stuck, not getting frozen, not getting into that space where like, oh, well, there are just so many things, I might as well. Right. So pace of life, that. I like this heartbeat thing. But where does it go? No. Play. Doesn't fit with that first thing. Too jarring. Okay, no, it's a different song. Okay. Well, I haven't taken that many dead ends on this program, so it's like, whatevs. I should go live on, I gotta know for somebody I have no idea on TikTok. That's a thing that interests anyone. Okay. You know what is not nearly realistic enough? I've been acting like I know where this is going. I think that's part of why I let myself get stressed out with the last episode. I would like a picture of the songwriter here, and a fair bit of that when in a room with a person, and you only get to leave when you turn in a finished song. Those writing sessions are fun. You mess around with something else for a second. You get a snack. You listen to something that inspires you. You just joke. And then somebody says, oh, that joke there, that's the most brilliant. That means more than a moment to recognize I am human. I don't know where I'm going. And you know what? I don't think this would actually be an exciting end song. But I'm going to go ahead and be a little bit of the hare versus the tortoise here and contemplate that this might not get done today. All right, let's go ahead and surprise ourselves. I just got so confused because I also write my to-do lists in here, and that's a very odd set of lyrics. I don't remember writing that for the chorus. Okay. Maybe that's a place to go. So I like that. And that whole not rewriting the playing book thing. I like that, just bouncing back and forth from A to D to A to E. Cameron, if you're watching this, I know. I don't care. Right? We'll write a jazz next week. Maybe. If anybody asks. How does that feel? So I'd like to switch into adding more words into this, but I need to get that a little more solidly and how it feels. Okay, it's sweet. It's just sweet and simple. So but I kind of miss my heartbeat thing. Let's see if I can bring it back in a little bit. Yeah, move the chords, woman. Now I want something more complicated. No, it's they're cats and dogs. Next week we'll work on the heartbeat rhythm, maybe. So yeah, this is our verse. It's tempting to just knock out the bridge now, but that would be a little bit going back to playing with what I'm comfortable with, which is writing to lyrics. I mean, writing lyrics to music. So, you'd think 5 hours in I'd be getting used to this. No, I'm still as nervous. Okay, so talk it through. V, you're in front of an audience, kind of. You're in front of a camera, right? You're at least talking to yourself, and talk it through. So I have it's like very Gillian Welch imagery in my head. I'm thinking a lot about my redneck roots, about tough as nails, and my grandpa is a figure that comes up in my head a lot. Had epilepsy and worked as hard as anything as a cowboy and a manager for the town feed store and all that. And the pace of their lives, there's a lot of that in there. Dignity. And I'd like to think just universally country. Whatever that actually means when you're simple, don't mean you're dumb. You know stuff about how to grow things, and times can be hard, but there's this tranquility to country life that you get used to stillness, you get used to sitting with things. And I think that's where some of the greatest wisdom of country music can happen, is the comfort that comes with stillness, comes with living out in the boonies. So there's a lot of big space in here, big feelings, hard times. Good song, Gillian Welch. Check it out. Doing again, whatever. Sometimes you gotta cry gently. Alright, I know that's gonna be one of my favorite lyrics of all time. So I'm gonna put down the guitar. I know it's a guitar song, doesn't mean it has to be written on guitar. And honestly, it's a little more wieldy to write on piano. It's one of the reasons why it's the composer's instrument or whatever. So, going back to that feel so I can hear it in my head. It is... I'm having a lot of frustration because I'm wondering, I've noticed instinctively, I'm afraid it's going to be like last week. I'm afraid I'm gonna do my job, do the thing that I have to do, which is tell the truth at whatever cost to myself. And I'm afraid that I'm gonna get wiped out by it, right? That was that pause of that frustration of, wow, the lyrics keep running away from me as soon as I can think of them. The music keeps running away from me as soon as I can think of them. And that's why I'm doing this here. Because this happens when I'm working on commission, especially if I like the job, especially if I think it's a cool client that I want to work with some more. If I can, it's a limited problem in a way. I don't know many other commission songwriters that, hey, if you have writer's block and want to like drink of my tears for your own solace, let's work through it together. So, oh my gosh, like 2 whole people noticed this thing. That's way more than I thought for today. Again, I have no idea. It looks like on my end it's freezing up really badly, so you gotta tell me if it's not working at all. So, one of the best lyrics I ever wrote was about my grandfather, about one of the last things that I ever remember him saying to me, which was, don't be afraid of the dark. And I was like 5. Don't be afraid of the dark is your friend. And I was just, I had this whole little ancestor shrine in the corner of my garden. With their memory here. Ah. Hey, Cameron, thank you for telling. If anybody can let me know that much, because apparently I'm looking like a stop motion puppet. I'll try to not make that many ugly faces. Phasing out of your reality. What did I just say about ugly faces? Okay. I might continue if the audio is smooth. Cool. Let's just press on, and I'll try to hold very still. And it's a little like a radio show with some glitchy pictures. I'm going to summon up the pictures of some spirits of my grandparents and try to move on with this. Maybe we can knock this out early and spare ourselves the pain of dealing with the connection for the day. So, thank you for telling me. Ah, that's very close. I did the last thing in A2. Okay, that's I think why I need to put it back on guitar. I'm scared this song is gonna bite me. I need to stop being scared of my music. What did I just say? I keep making all the ugly faces. It's kind of hysterical, and I know you're gonna get just stuck on a winner. Okay. It's about the sound. Alright, we're gonna try to channel. I am way too wrapped up. This is one of the best exercises for songwriting ever, and that is just say stuff. Don't let yourself shut up. Old man Smith built this house. This is build it. Okay, cool. That's why we channel. So we're talking about the ghosts of this house now. Old Ted Smith. I really hope y'all are cool with this. I figure you wouldn't come into my head if not. I respect these ghosts. They are very active roommates. Okay. Old Ted Smith didn't build this house. I don't know who. Okay. So we had to go down some wrong paths. I'm scared. I know I'm messing myself up. So, all right. I tried to make it entertaining. Now it's going to get real. Because I just got to hear this and shut up for a second. It's kind of like Streets of Laredo, where it got a little nod to yodeling in there. Okay, so I just got this total old-timey scene in my head where it's like at the counter of an old-fashioned candy store when those things were still real, or better yet, at the general store for, a rural area like here where there'd just be this one little glass partition of candy among all the other farm equipment, and just that general kind of store that sold everything, five and dime stuff like this, little mix of high and low, and I want to play with symbolism in either flowers or candy or both. So let's go. When you go to the old town zone. I don't know. I'm a little I'm afraid because I have as long. Okay, I'm not going to be who cares if I copy on my own lyrics? I'm continuing a theme. Stock up at the candy store. No, ain't no use staying here no more. That's from Long Way to Anywhere, which is on SoundCloud. So this is different. Life revolves around the county store around here in a lot of ways. When you go to no, that's not what's coming through right now. Old camp meeting. When you go to the rendezvous. Okay, that's something that's authentic to me, and I like where it's going because that reminds me of my adopted dad. And, you know, actually doing the mountain man thing and going trading for stuff and throwing axes around in a remote location. When you go to the rendezvous, take my memory with you. Cool. And won't you tell them I'll come round. Before the snow comes down, or before taking my man. Okay, so flowers and candy are out the window. Now I'm tracing this thing. When you go to the rendezvous, take my memory with you. My memory, take my memory with you. And tell them all how I suffered at the cause of melody. That was nonsense, but that was weird. And tell them all of how I suffered at the cause of Ella Lee. I haven't listened to way too much Dylan. I have absolutely listened to way too much Dylan. Ella Lee. Just not pressure myself to tie that one up because so far it's got a good flow. I would like a lovely, clever turnaround lyric to end it on. When you go to the rendezvous, take my memory with you and tell them all how I suffered at the cause of Ella Lee. She's nothing like the magazine. As she left me, this she told me. Cause of Ella Lee, who appeared before me in a dream. Oh, that's too explicit. I don't even know what the word I'm going for. And tell them how I suffered at the cause of Ella Lee. She's the one I see in dreams. She still comes to me in dreams, whispering. I like that. She still. And I like that. So who the hell is Ella Lee? I don't have an Ella Lee in my life, but I sure have people I lost. And that's what Ella Lee becomes a placeholder for. She still comes to me in dreams, whispering. Okay, cool. Main trick with a verse or a chorus like what we got is it could be pablum. It is pablum. I know it's pablum, but pablum can make you feel good. Just look at hashtag TikTok animals. It's not animals are way wiser. I shouldn't say that. Anyhow, is fitting it into a story, right? In this case, it's not so much creating a story around it. There's definitely a story around, the theme "Cry Gently," but it's almost too broad and universal, right? So we threw in a whole bunch of fast, thick Colorado-ish details here. And, you know, just for everybody's gratification, I think I better play that all back so we know that we're getting somewhere. How late am I? All right. It's going to be a bit of a nail biter again, but I like how sweet and simple it is. When you go to the rendezvous, take my memory with you. And tell them all how I suffered at the cause of Emily. She still comes to me in dreams, whispering. Sometimes you gotta cry gently. Sometimes you gotta die temporarily. The road is long and the wind blows strong, and there's never turning up or slowing down. You wanna stay tough, but you wanna give up. Always trying to keep from breaking up or living down. Sometimes you gotta cry gently. Okay, cool. I clearly don't have the chorus under my tongue and need to not act like I have it. But that was fun. Take my... So this is a time trial. We don't get time to move on. What's the next verse about? How are we filling out this picture about the rendezvous and all of this? I'm going to play it through one more time. I get this feeling this song comes from Riddle. This might be a Betty Southern song. Her songs come from Riddle, which is this distinctly American kind of subconscious. So let's figure out what else is going on in Riddle. I gotta hush and listen. And this is my favorite piece of jewelry, given to me by a really special lady who, by the way, I hope that's really... Any thoughts and prayers spare for a lady recovering from a real hard day at the doctor, please send that up to the universe for the lady who gave me this. Take your tear the car, wear your black fine boots. It's out of Riddle. I'm just not even filtering. That thing I said about like authentic language, we can just consider that all hypocrisy minds because folk songs will never die. Okay. Take your black fine boots of calf. I don't want to tear your contracts all in half. What's symbolic of a contract? Right? What if you tore it in half? It would have like a whole bunch of significance. It stings in my nose. I'm just if the greater consciousness is going to save me on this one. No, I have to move on. All right, so I'm going to move on because I only have like 5 minutes to turn in the final. Let's see what we want to do for a bridge. Fast forward through my chorus. No. I always go to the minor for the chorus, right? But maybe I won't this time. No. Nope. I don't want to switch to the key of D. That's no fun. This is a timed song. I always switch to the minor for the chorus, but minor for the bridge. But I enjoy my bridges because they're kind of these, spaces where all the angst of the song gets to have this little bit of a fruition. But no, I keep wanting to go to the B major, and we're like, no. What's the major 3 of A? Okay. Nope. Last potential. Ba. See, I knew that B major came in some ba, 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 ba. Where does that want to go? How does that make sense? F sharp minor, C sharp major, B natural. There is a chord that goes from here. I'm just not sure if I'm going to find it. So that really should make sense that it should be the E natural. It is. Wait, do I do that? I think I might. No, too weird. Something went wrong in there. So it might just be another quick little sidey thing. So I don't know if I'm gonna make it on this one. Okay, cool. I just but the fun thing is if you wobble back and forth like that, went to the bridge and I forgot about the verse, and now I'm so frustrated with the verse that I know the answer to the verse. So where you black? Oh, I hope I don't remember that melody. Where you black? Fine boots of calf. Tear your legacy in half. Ooh, we're talking about dying now. And stride out gently through, and stride out gently through the prairie. Cause one thing you can never quite mention enough in Colorado songs is how fabulous the prairie is. Stride out gently through the prairie. Stride out gently through the prairie. Da 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 da. And it's there you see of me. I'm like, she still comes to me in dreams, whisperings. And I'm just trying to make sure I matched first verse to second verse. This is where the show just is entirely real and not entertaining at all. Sorry, guys. She still comes to me in dreams, see me. I'll become the morning lark. I'll become the morning lark, warbling. I don't know if I'm going to get a verse on this today, right? Let's see what kind of time we got on it. Or at least, yeah, I think I'm just gonna call that what it is for now. I'm gonna take another like 1 minute to go back and play with that F sharp minor idea. And then I'm gonna leave it because I don't know if it necessarily goes with this song. So there's F sharp minor, C natural, B natural, C sharp natural, B natural. And I was thinking going to natural E, but that's a lot of weirdness in one place. To take 1 moment to figure out if it goes. Alright, cool. So we'll just add some oohs over it. That counts in case you didn't know and you're feeling inadequate in your lyric writing ability like I am right now. Yeah, oohs. Okay. This has been 1 hour, 1 new song, week 5. We didn't make me cry this week. In fact, I think this song is some pretty comforting nonsense. If you like this, please subscribe wherever. I am so happy to have a couple of people that I look forward to spewing nonsense at every week. Thank you all. You rock. And here is the first draft, and I'll come back at you with the final in a minute of Cry Gently. When you go to the rendezvous, take my memory with you and tell them all how I suffered at the cause of Elodie. She still comes to me in dreams, whispering. Sometimes you gotta cry, cry gently. Sometimes you gotta die temporarily. The wind blows strong and the road is long, and there's never going back or slowing down. You wanna give up, but you gotta stay tough, trying to keep from cracking up or breaking down. So sometimes you gotta cry, cry gently. With your black fine boots of care, tear your legacy in half, stride out gently through the prairie. It's there where you'll see of me. I'll be it's a real song, real new song. I'll be become the morning lark whispering. Sometimes you gotta cry, cry gently. Sometimes you gotta die temporarily. The wind blows strong and the road is long, and there's never going back or slowing down. You wanna give up, but you gotta stay tough, trying to keep from cracking up or breaking down. So sometimes you gotta cry, cry gently. Sometimes you gotta cry, cry gently. Sometimes you gotta die temporarily. The wind blows strong and the road is long, and there's never going back or slowing down. You wanna give up, but you gotta stay tough, trying to keep from cracking up or breaking down. So sometimes you gotta cry, so cry gently. I reserve the right not to do the exact same ooey part in the final. There is a build in there. Give me a sec. Don't really count as a finished song. All right, so this was a partial success for 1 Hour, 1 New Song. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun for me, as usual. I'll see you next week, and I'll see you on Sunday with spiritual songs and broadcast.